Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and we are back with more reactions for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This time on to episode number 6 of season 1, progressing through the season nicely enough. I think there are like 12 episodes. This is not like an incredibly long and kind of drawn out season, like to well over like 2 dozen, like some shows. This is actually like one of the more kind of fairly concise shows you'll get out there, and one of the more fairly concise seasons you'll get. So this one is really not that long, like I think 12, maybe 13 episodes. I haven't properly checked. I think definitely a lot less than like 15 and 20. So fairly compact season. So I think at this point we're pretty much halfway through the season. So I feel comfortable actually progressing this quickly and this far and everything. And it's been great so far. It's been splendid, perfectly splendid so far, so that is really great, and you guys have been great too, so that is even more great. So yeah, so on to episode number 6. So like I said last time, we had, I believe his name was Owen. We had Owen, who was a never before seen student of Sunnydale, who both I was about to say Charisma, both Cordelia, played by Charisma, both Cordelia and Buffy seemed to have a crush on, and then they both, Cordelia managed to get the first dance with him at the bronze because Buffy was then too busy with Giles actually doing like a miscalculated stakeout of the graveyard and everything, so she got the first dance, and then the second night she went back and got her dance and everything, so kind of like a little bit of like rivalry between them, as you could probably expect in that particular context and in that time. So there was that, but Owen was the kind of crush that Buffy had. Like he was, he seemingly matched her type of guy who. I mean, I think knowing how she's been so far, I think it's actually believable too that he's like a nice normal guy who's like a bit of a bookworm, and he's charming and he's handsome and all that kind of stuff, and then especially kind of falls under the kind of the category of actually wanting and having a normal life too. So I think for her, dating also definitely kind of allowed her to have a bit more of a normal life and have a bit more of a social life too. So she wanted to kind of pursue that a bit more and actually see, if her and Owen would be a good match. And I think to be fair, temporarily they were, but then in the end, especially after he got roped into all the slayage with the Anointed One and the Master and everything, he not only survived, but then he actually developed like a taste and like a bit of like a thirst for that kind of like a life. He developed like a bit like his true colors as a bit of a thrill seeker came to light and everything. But then so then Buffy realized that not only was he his attraction to her was split between her and also like the life that she led. So he not even Slade in particular, just like that kind of like thrill, that kind of violence, that kind of chaos in general. Like he was attracted to that in a way that she kind of saw like would only eventually get him killed, and especially in her world too. Like she doesn't really fight regular human beings in bars like he wanted to, but she actually fights superpowered monsters and everything that would one day sooner, if not later, get him killed. So then she decided to call it off before it got too dangerous. So I think that kind of made her feel like, it kind of made her wonder, like it kind of made her wonder if she would ever be able to really pursue like that kind of a life if the future was like that, like maybe in case the like future partners that she ran into would turn out to be like Owen too, or maybe if maybe like, because I think for her worst case scenario used to be like, oh, they'll find out what she is and what she does, and then they'll get freaked out and just run away and never contact her again. But then with Owen, it's like, oh, he's into it, but then he's a little bit too into it as well. He actually wants to be a part of it, and he actually wants to do more things and stuff. So that was a whole kind of really interesting story that they explored. And I think definitely does not not only because it's just like the first season and halfway through the first season, but also like I think it definitely felt like they were actually dipping their toe into Buffy actually kind of exploring romances and potential loves and everything. So it was a really great kind of first kind of like a first step and like a first like a first time kind of story to actually try it out with. So that was fun. And then we actually discovered that Buffy and Giles actually kind of share that kind of destined future kind of story in their own life too. Like Buffy is like born destined to be the chosen one and born to be the Slayer, and then Giles actually comes from like a long line of Watchers in his own bloodline too. So he also was told he was told at a young age that he was destined to be a Watcher, and that one day he would actually watch and mentor the chosen one and stuff. And he had very different dreams for his own life. So nice bit of backstory for Giles and some kind of more depth and kind of character for him to actually showing like how far he's come, but then the fact that he actually did like have other plans in life and he actually did have like another life that he wanted to live. But now he's met Buffy. He's met Buffy and the gang. I think over time I think over time he's had no choice but to adapt and to become this person. But then I think now at this point he's actually kind of taken on these kids under his wing, and I think soon I think at some point it's going to become like that very clear dynamic of like he is the father and they are their and they are his kind of adoptive kind of children and everything, and they're just like they're like a family that just kind of fights and slays. And I think that's the dynamic I'm looking forward to seeing as it flourishes and blossoms and becomes like one of the best things about the show. So yeah, I love found family. If there's one thing that I love in any story, it's a good found family trope. Found family tropes are one of my favorite things in pretty much any story. So I'm loving it. I've loved it so far in Agents of Shield, and I think Agents of Shield is also like I think the like more recently the show that I've kind of enjoyed it the most in. So I think I'm really looking forward to seeing how it actually blossoms with this too, like with Buffy and Willow and Xander and Giles and maybe even Angel if he somehow becomes like like some kind of like adoptive black sheep of the family or something. He's like the outsider that kind of slowly kind of plants the roots or something. I don't know, but I mean I feel like just saying this stuff I'm kind of predicting too far ahead, but either way I'm looking forward to seeing how it all comes together and how it all how it all happens. So that was that. So Buffy and Giles and Owen as well, and then we had the Anointed One too. So that was like a secret weapon of the Masters that was destined to not be known by the Slayer, but still kind of lead her to the gates of hell and still be like the Master's strongest warrior, who would also then lead Buffy to hell and everything. And initially, I think it was said to. It was said that the Anointed One would rise after being among 5 killed by like 3. I think what was it, like 3 Gospels or 3 3 disciples or something, like 3 other special vampires that the Master would send, and like they took down like a bus full of people, and then 5 were dead, and then among them was actually like a known I think like a known killer or like a known cultist or something. So he was like the kind of Occam's razor style choice, but then they pulled like a little bit of a twist at the end, and it was actually like the one child, like the one youngest passenger on the bus who presumably lost his mother in the attack, and then he was taken by the vampires and taken back to the Master. So he is the one. He's the Anointed One. So we got the Chosen One, and now we got the Anointed One. So they're probably gonna duke it out in some kind of supernatural ring at some point in the future. So that's gonna be quite excited to see, but now he has the Anointed One. So I think first he had Luke, and then Luke flopped majorly. So now someone younger and potentially stronger and more kind of primal will take his place and become the Anointed One. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've got. I think that's all the details I'm really remembering. I'm sure there were other kind of tidbits that were kind of still cool and noteworthy to see, but major details, those are pretty much all the things I can remember. So still a fun episode, still a really fun episode, so I can't wait to see how this one progresses. So on to episode number 6, onto the reaction, and as you guys probably know by now, this one will just be the fair use version with the highlights and the best bits, but if you want the full length, then that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. But yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 1, Episode 6. Let's go.
Thank you, very exciting.
It was like the Heimlich with stripes.
The Heimlich with stripes.
Somehow I'll find the courage to live on.
Yeah, great.
Where were you?
That sounds creative.
Buffy, this isn't just about looking at a bunch of animals. This is about not being in class.
Aren't you going to have to go back to class and do a report on this? Isn't that how it usually works? Or is this like a literal kind of casual like prize for good work or good behavior or something?
Come on, we're gonna check out the Hyena house.
Oh no, don't go with them.
And they're in my
Don't go with them, Lance. You're better than this. You're better. No, don't. I can tell I'm gonna hate the crap out of these people. I'm gonna hate the crap out of them.
Well, every school has them. So you start a new school, you get your desks, some blackboards, and some mean kids.
Oh yeah, the mean kids.
Yeah,
Compulsory with every
I'll
school.
handle it.
They follow humans around by day, learning their names. At night, when the campfire dies, they call out to a person.
Are they hyenas or wendigos? Because I've never heard of hyenas that can actually mimic human voices or language. That sounds like wendigos.
I think it looks hungry.
No. No. Oh. Whoa! 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 Eyes! Glowy eyes! What? 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 Xander? Oh no! Xander! Does he become a werewolf or a were-hyena? Are they were-hyenas? Oh god. Okay, this show is gonna get creative. I like that. This show is gonna get creative. I like that, with different monsters, werewolves, or were-hyenas in this case. I don't know.
Hyper aware? Well, I'm not constantly monitoring his health, his moods, his blood pressure. 130/80.
No.
You got it bad, girl.
What is this crap?
Well, it was my buttery croissant.
Man, I need some food. Birds live on this.
No, he needs meat. He needs meat. He's a were-hyena now. He needs meat. Is he gonna transform? Is he gonna transform? He likes it. Yeah. Did he?
Okay, now what?
You took a bath.
Yeah, I often do. I'm actually known for it.
That's okay.
Does he smell new shampoo or?
And the Weird Behavior Award goes to...
Yeah, shouldn't you be hovering over the football stadium with Goodyear written on you?
Oh.
Gets bad.
Right. That's enough training for one.
Yeah, he's afraid she might drop kick him.
Well, that last roundhouse was kind of sloppy. Are you sure you want to do it again?
No. Glad.
Yeah, she hasn't broken this way. He's the one who's fit.
Well, I wait for the feeling to return to my arms.
Oh god, poor Giles. Yeah, just literally a human kicking and punching bag. A rat. A cat. A pig.
Quite a scare, didn't he?
That's a pig.
Students, I'd like you all to meet Herbert, our new
Herbert.
mascot for the Sunnydale High
The
Razorbacks.
mascot. You got a pig as your mascot.
He's a fine mascot and will engender school spirit.
He better. Cost a fortune to feed him.
Yeah.
All right, let's get you back into your cage.
Herbert wants to be free. He wants to be free to roam fields and do whatever it is that pigs do.
It's like a big blur, all these numbers and angles.
Tough mood.
Same stuff from
Fucking
last week. You have
mood.
it down then.
Why do I need to learn this?
Today it's all gangs and drugs and those movies on Showtime with the nudity. I don't have cable. I only heard. When I was your age, we cared about the school's reputation.
Was Showtime the HBO back then? Is that what it was?
Of course, when I was your
Oh no, Xander's gonna try and eat the pig. Xander's gonna try and eat the pig.
So you know what that means?
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball, yeah, I remember this back in
For
school,
those of you that may
yeah.
have forgotten, the rules are as follows.
Don't get hit.
Dodge.
Yeah, don't get hit. Oh, dodgeball was quite a bit of fun. Yeah, I think dodgeball was the one thing that the majority of kids in class could actually semi-enjoy at least. Yeah. Oh, the were peeps are gonna dodge everything, aren't they? They're gonna dodge everything and hit everything. No, Buffy's got moves too. Buffy's got dodges and little side sweeps. Yeah, or the Slayer versus the pack. The Slayer versus the pack. Oh, Xander, you got Willow out. Come on. Oh, and he's on their side too. He's on the other side. Oh, wow. Oh, it's just Buffy and the pack. Buffy versus the pack. Oh, snap. Wait, what? They're turning on their own side? You're gonna have to sort this boy out, Buffy. Oh boy, oh god. He was born to be a gym coach.
And, well, we've been friends for such a long time that I feel like I need to tell you something.
Don't you humiliate her. Don't you...
I've decided to drop geometry, which means I won't have to look at your pasty face again.
Whoop his ass, just this one time, Buffy. Whoop his ass. I don't care that he's possessed by a hyena. Whoop his ass, just
Gonna
this one
say
time.
something to me?
Yeah, just this one time, whoop his ass. Just drop him. Might be a bit harsh saying it right now, but I don't care. No.
Hey.
How do you make regular bullies worse? Turn them into supernatural creatures. Oh, another pig! Oh no, they're going after the pig! They're going after the pig! No, no, not Herbert, not Herbert, no! You leave Herbert alone, you monsters! No! Herbert!
I think something's wrong with him. Or maybe there's something wrong with me.
No! No, Willow, no, 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 no. I will not be having that.
He's not picking on you. He's
Slander is one thing, I will not be
sniffing
having self-slander. That is one thing I will not accept.
you. I don't know.
It's devastating. He's turned into a 16-year-old boy. Of course, you'll have to kill him.
Giles, I'm serious.
So am I. He will, however, get over it.
I cannot believe that you, of all people, are trying to scully me.
Oh,
Something
X-Files
supernatural
reference.
at work here.
Love that. Mm.
Get your books. Look stuff up. Xander has been acting totally wiggy ever since we went to the zoo. Him and Kyle and all those guys, they went into the hyena cage.
Herbert, they found him.
The pig?
Was he eaten?
Dead. And also eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Principal Flutie's freaking out.
Testosterone, huh?
Not so much testosterone as...
Get my book.
I don't know what the hunger hormone... If there is a hunger hormone, I don't know what the hunger hormone is, but yeah.
Crunchy.
Oh,
That's it. My office right now. Your grandchildren will be staying after school.
okay, that's a cool line and all, but I feel like if you just lock them in a room with you, they will not hold back. You'll probably be next.
Humanity, consciousness, the soul is a perversion, a dilution of spirit. To them, the animal state is holy. They are able, through transpossession, to draw the spirit of certain animals into themselves.
So what happens to the person once the spirit's in them?
They transform into the animal, fully.
I gotta find
He
Xander.
fully hyenas out. Yeah. Yeah, oh. Wait, they start losing limbs too? I think I saw some missing legs and arms there too. Did they leave anything behind? Like,
They're strong.
yeah, like bones. Oh, that sounded like bone. Bones. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Xander.
What are you doing?
Oh, no. They're gonna eat him now. They're gonna eat him now.
Get off of me.
Is that what you really want? We both know what you really want.
You are infected with some hyena thing. It's like a demonic possession.
Dangerous and mean, right? Like Angel, your mystery guy.
For fuck's
Well, this
sake.
just got mean.
You're not mean, you're just a dick. Well, yeah, if you are mean and you're a dick. Yeah.
Until Willow stops kidding herself that I could settle with anyone but you.
Xander, I don't want to hurt you.
But she will if she has to.
I like it when you're scared.
I hate this with every fiber of my being.
The better you smell.
You're about this close to expulsion, people.
Oh god, they scratched him. Oh god.
Are you insane?
Oh, they're gonna eat the principal now? They ate the pig and now they're really gonna eat the principal. Really? Oh god, that's exactly the footage we need to see, isn't it?
I hit him. With what? A desk. He tried
A desk?
felony
Oh.
sexual assault.
Yeah.
Buffy the hyena and him didn't.
No.
They ate him.
Yeah. I mean, for them, that would essentially equal cannibalism.
Maybe he didn't quarantine those hyenas because they were sick.
Because they knew they were strange? They were supernatural?
Somebody's gotta watch. Well, are you sure if he wakes up?
I'll be alright. Go.
Well, I guess she knows what to expect now, which isn't really much better. She knows to expect her own best friend actually tearing her apart. No pun intended. Can't believe they actually ate the principal too. Oh, and this is a trap. This is a trap. This is a trap. Yeah, this is a trap. Oh, maybe not a trap, just them actually waking up from like a after lunch nap. Oh god. Oh, and she's got a baby. Oh no, she has a child. She's got a baby. No, please, the principal was bad enough. Please. Not a mother and her child. Okay, alright.
Look at me.
I still don't trust that face, not until the glowy thing happens again and the spirit leaves you. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen, yeah.
After hyenas feed and rest, they will track the missing member of their pack until they find him. They should come right to you.
Willow. Willow is alone with Xander. Yeah, if they start tracking soon, they're gonna find her. Oh no.
Willow.
I'm not listening.
And they're right outside the school too, they're in like the bushes or something. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's not Xander. Oh god. Is he the alpha? I'm actually really curious. Is that like a pack alpha? Is there an alpha pack member? Is it him? He seems to be leading and they're following. Oh, there we go, yeah. Oh, nice. Trash can to the face. Whoa! Who are they going after? Oh no. Don't you eat the fucking kid, you psychos. There we go, yeah, roundhouse here. Put those roundhouse kicks to good use.
You know what you want.
Oh, they want the Slayer. They want the Slayer. The chosen one. Yeah, oh yeah, she'll give them a good chase. She can give them a good chase.
Oh.
Is this him?
The Maasai ceremonial garb. Yes. Very good. But this would be here when the children first came.
Oh, he planned this out, didn't he? He wanted this to happen. He made it happen.
How terribly frustrating for you that a bunch of school children could accomplish what you could not.
Oh,
It bothered me.
Ah.
But the power will be mine.
He wants the hyena power. He wants to become the hyena. Oh no, Giles. Oh god, you knew he had a stick and you still let him get you. Yeah, the zookeeper is the mastermind of this whole thing all along. He wants the hyena power.
Stay back. They haven't been fed.
Oh no,
Where's
Will, I don't
Giles?
trust him.
Laying in wait.
No, you can't trust the
Yeah,
zookeeper.
shouldn't you bring the hyenas out? You'll pretend to slash my throat and put the evil in the hyena?
No, he's not. He's no. No, it's not pretend.
Buffy, it's a trap!
Oh god. Oh god. Okay, you can kill the zookeeper, right? You can just easily kill the zookeeper. No, just push him into the hyena cage. You can kill the zookeeper. Yeah, just throw him to the hyenas. Throw him to the hyenas. Yeah, you want that power so much you can... Yeah. Just, yeah. Oh, Charles, are you okay?
I miss anything?
Oh, God.
Well, I remember I'm going on the field trip and then going down to the Hyena house, and next thing, some guy's holding Willow.
Ah,
and he's
so
got
he
a knife.
blacked out the entire time. He blacked out.
Nobody messes with my Willow.
Oh, Buffy and a baby, that's
Definitely
cute.
superior Xander.
Yeah, this is Xander, the wholesome, friendly, lovable himbo. Yes, this is our Xander. Oh, I love this look on Buffy, yeah.
Come on, we're gonna be late.
She looks good.
Cool.
She looks good.
Oh, hey, going vegetarian, huh?
I cannot find anything anywhere about memory loss afterwards.
Did you tell them that?
Your secret.
Oh,
dies.
he remembers everything. Oh.
Shoot me, stuff me, mount me.
Oh, Xander, oh. He remembers everything he did. Oh, that's gotta be even worse. Yeah, that's understandably even worse. That's understandably worse, so... So, yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. You know, it definitely felt a lot longer than I thought. I think these episodes definitely do feel like they're actually, you know, designed to actually last like the kind of the minimum you'd expect for this kind of format, like of around 40 to 45 minutes. I think it definitely felt like a like a lot more happened. It definitely it like given how much was in it and given how much happened, it did like for me and my kind of way of like processing episodes, it definitely kind of felt like up to an hour at least. So I was like, oh, that's fun. But yeah, no, that was interesting. That was good. That was dark and, you know, very, very testing and very kind of very explorative and definitely creative. Like trying something new with some different monsters and everything. So I think I if there's anything I'm loving so far, it's definitely the fact that Buffy the Vampire Slayer is not limiting itself, and it shouldn't have to limit itself either. So I think it's definitely kind of going down the route of actually exploring different things, and I think it's definitely like I think especially with this being the like somewhat like the pioneer of sci-fi horror in within American media, I think it's definitely kind of definitely like gives off the vibes of like, oh, we did this kind of like this whole kind of monster of the week kind of explorative kind of episode formula thing first, and like they started off, but then they also like offered that kind of inspiration to other shows to do the same, to follow that same formula and to actually do it their own way with like the X-Files and Supernatural and everything. So definitely get that vibe, and there was even like an X-Files thing in this. I think I don't know. I feel like someone's probably mentioned. I feel like someone has probably mentioned this in the comments before, but then my mind being my mind, my memory being my memory, just not remembering. But I think someone might have mentioned it before. But I think I am, given the reference, I'm guessing the X Files must have either come. I think X Files must have. I mean, it has to be an X Files. It has to be an X Files reference, right? Like I think cause she mentioned Scully. She mentioned Scully, so I think that definitely sounds and presents itself as an actual reference. And and I think especially in that context, the only Scully I would know that she's referring to is actually Agent Scully of the X Files. So I think so I think X Files must have come out like around the same time as this, maybe slightly before, because then this is still the first season, and like within the first few episodes of the first season. So around the time this was actually airing, I think maybe it could have been, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it must have had to be maybe like some kind of secret hidden reference of like like the audience isn't really meant to know that it's a reference, or maybe it's like it's meant to be like it's meant to be a lot sneakier in the sense that you wouldn't expect it, because maybe they were airing around the same time, but then only the actual people behind the scenes and the more higher ups knew, so then they would know to sneak it around in the same time, or something, or I don't know. But X-Files, I feel like with this being in the 90s too, I think X-Files must have had to come out like around the 80s or 90s too. So yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, but either way, like that reference was cool, and definitely kind of like a cool nod to like a similar show as well. And I think so. Then that then also means that in the Buffy universe, X-Files also exists as a TV show as well. So I think that's even wacky to think about as well. So yeah, super meta. But yeah, no. So we had not werewolves. Well, they introduced us to well, they had like a few different kind of villains and enemies kind of being explored in this episode. One of which was actually one of the few banes of my existence, which is high school bullies, or just school bullies in general. Just like I think Xander made a good point too. You go to any school, one thing you are guaranteed to have is the mean kids, and I think especially if that kind of meanness goes unchecked, then the most predominant ones you'll find are the high school bullies. So yeah, never fun, just a bunch of assholes, a lot of them, just a bunch of assholes, and just I think especially like the only way you can make someone hate them more is to give them supernatural powers, to make them even meaner, to make them even more antagonizing, and even more like you want to just knock their lights out or something. So yeah, I mean, with these guys it wouldn't work because they're turning into hyenas, so they'd have strength and reflexes and all that kind of stuff, and they'd probably eat you afterwards. But yeah, I think again, what better way to make you hate bullies than to turn them into actual supernatural monsters and everything. So yeah, so we had Kyle and a few of his other buddies and everything, and then they turned, and then they became a pack. They became a pack of super powered kind of hyena human hybrid thingies. And it's like overall, I think this episode just seemed to kind of run on that too, actually making you hate the right people, but then also throwing Xander into the twist too. I think hating the school bullies a regular amount seemed accurate, and it seemed appropriate. Being like, yeah, you're definitely not meant to like these people, so hate them with all the hatred in your body that you can muster, and actually hate them even more for becoming these kind of jacked up, like hungry, flesh hungry and power hungry kind of assholes that they're actually becoming. But then also actually throwing Xander into the mix actually seemed creative, to say the least. So there was that. But then then we had hyenas. And I think I was curious too. I think as soon as I saw their eyes glowing, I thought, oh, maybe it's gonna be werewolves. But then it's like, no, they definitely kind of seem like they're meant to be hyenas, and they're definitely being presented as hyenas and everything. So I was like, oh, maybe then we're hyenas. That would be the actual I mean, in terms of having monsters on the show, where hyenas seemed pretty accurate, so it seemed like an actual logical guess to take. And then it turned out that it wasn't were hyenas at all. They were just hyenas that actually were, I think, because I think based on the lore that Giles actually shared, I think it was like because it was transpossession, it was more like actual spiritual transfer and actual possession through that way. So then like the hyenas themselves, like it was completely normal spiritual, it was the completely regular hyena spirit. But then I don't know if that would actually mean that the power of the hyenas would actually be enhanced through the spiritual transfer. Because I think I think humans and hyenas, I think humans and animals in general have like varying levels of power and everything. I think it's like I think because of that, I think it's animals themselves aren't not all animals are actually known to do what humans do and craft weapons and use weapons with their bodies. Like most have like plenty enough like strength and muscle in themselves to actually use their own bodies as weapons, and humans do as well. But humans, as we've come down the timeline of human evolution, we have crafted various different kinds of weapons suited for different ages and different types of situations and like hunting and all that kind of stuff. But then animals themselves, especially like a hyena would not need a club or a stick or a spear or anything like that. Like humans are the only ones who have actually started to use sticks and stones and evolved and changed from then on. But then with the because that with the hyenas, I think they would have the bodily strength and mass and speed and agility and all that stuff. Like they would have it adapted to their own needs, and they are instinctively and naturally and inherently predatory animals. So then because of that, I do wonder then if, because of that, the hyenas themselves would be stronger than the humans. So then, like that kind of natural, kind of baseline hyena strength transferred into the humans, into the kids, made the kids stronger, or if if the simple act of possession itself actually enhanced that power in some way and actually made the kids stronger through that. But I think like the first one is more likely. Because then it also made them a lot more. Predatory too, and I think it actually transferred hyena traits into them too. So like the heightened hearing, the smell, the kind of it made them even hungrier, and I think the increased hunger makes them that much more carnivorous. I think at one point I was actually about to question if they could actually just kind of like make them hungry to wear them up. I think like those kinds of animals too actually, but the hungrier they get, the more vicious they get in the hunt. So then anything they come across is pretty much fair game and everything, except for the mother and the child. I think with the mother and child, she did get very lucky, but then she also actually didn't really hesitate too much to really kind of duck the hell out of there before things got too too dangerous. And then I think they were still kind of like probably still waking up from there after lunch and after supper nap or whatever, so they very swiftly went back down to their nap afterwards. So I think that was like a oh, we're too tired to chase you, just go off. You're lucky this time, but we'll probably get you next time. And I think it's a good thing they stopped there too. I think after everything they'd done, after everyone they'd eaten, they actually stopped there and actually let the mother and child go. I think if they had actually let the kids eat the mother and child, I really don't know if how differently I'd actually feel about this episode. I'd probably like a lot worse, but it's a good thing they actually drew the line there. So they'll eat a pig, they'll eat their own fucking principal, but then luckily, thankfully, thank God, a mother and her child have a baby in her back. I think that might be the first time I've seen that kind of a harness too. Like I think usually it's like I've seen a few of those kinds of harnesses, but I think mostly it's usually like actually having the baby in the front in like an actual kind of seat in the front, so that way you can actually see the baby and the baby can see you and stuff like that. But this time it's actually like we're in the child like a backpack. So I mean, I've seen it in some cases, but I think mostly the harnesses and stuff made are for the front. So yeah, but yeah, that was also then. Luckily they stopped there, but then the hyena. So yes, I think it was actually transpossession. So actually the act of actually transferring the hyena spirit from animal to human. And I think it was the Maasai tribe from the Serengeti. I think if my pronunciation, I mean they pronounce it still. I think I'm pronouncing it like according to what I remember them saying in the episode. But if my pronunciation is wrong, then I do apologize. the Maasai tribe, I believe that was the actual tribe too, and that was what they were called. So like the Maasai tribe of the Serengeti. So like they believed that humanity in itself, like the human spirit and humanity and human consciousness was like a very very deviant kind of delusion of spirit and like a perversion, and then the humans as humans were weak and like didn't really kind of like live up to full evolutionary kind of potential and everything. So they believed that the animal spirit being what it was, and seeing I think also because like seeing like maybe seeing animals kind of so like varied among themselves, like with animals you can get hyenas, cheetahs, giraffes, kangaroos, and all these different animals who some of whom are more predatory than others, but all of whom have their own strengths and their own things. And then of course like this tribe wanting probably wanting the most predatory one, they wanted the hyena. So then they learned how to actually transfer the hyena. So but then I do then wonder maybe if the hyena was also maybe like a test too, like because then if it like they wanted maybe they wanted to try and do it on like an animal that they had either already tamed, or maybe like an animal that would be easy to tame. Because then if you try and do it on like a tiger or a lion, it's gonna be probably a lot more difficult and everything. But then with the hyenas, like they're slightly lesser and probably slightly easier to control. So then they actually did it on the hyena, or they could have been their end game all along. Most of all, they definitely just believed that the animal spirit was actually stronger and more pure and more holy than the human one. So then because of that, I think they actually wanted. I fully believe if given the chance, they would probably try and transform themselves into hyenas too. But then I think they realized that was their limitation. But then the one thing they could try and do was actually do this whole ritual to try and actually get the hyena kind of spirit and strength and soul into their bodies instead. So then I wonder then, would the souls then be swapped? Would the spirits then be swapped as well? Because surely, I think with possession, I think it doesn't really work that way. I think with possession, like the new incoming soul would automatically take over. So I was wondering then if that would mean, because I feel like that would have made a cool twist. I feel like that would have made like an even cooler twist. So like not only do they actually take the spirits in, but they actually swap the spirits out as well. So then the human spirits go into the hyenas, and you get like the kids are in the hyenas, but then the hyenas go into the kids, and the hyena souls and the hyena spirits are actually in the kids as well. So I think like that would have been like a really interesting way to actually spin it too. So they get the actual human Xander being like this evil, dickish kind of hyena possessed kind of guy who can probably still talk, but then you actually get the real Xander, the actual human Xander, in a hyena that's still in like trapped in the zoo and everything, and then they actually have to try and like look after the hyena Xander too. So I think that would have made for like an interesting twist. I think it would have been quite a bit to actually fit into the episode too, like actually having to fight to resurrect the human Xander, but then also having to fight to preserve the hyena Xander to make sure that he didn't like get hurt or die or anything. So I don't know. It feels like it would have been a fun twist and like the right kind of sci-fi twist. But then the way they still did it in this was still cool, and I think it still kind of like follows the kind of the traditional path of possession as kind of even general audiences as even general audiences would follow it too. So like then like the new incoming spirit takes complete control over the body, and then the other spirit is actually trapped in there, unable to control or anything. So yeah, transpossession of hyenas. So yeah, not were hyenas, just the transpossession of the transference of the soul and everything. So that was fun. It was interesting. It was interesting, but not so fun for people involved. So yeah, and yeah, I think I feel like it was pretty visible and pretty present during the reaction. But I'm just gonna say it right here, right again now. Actually, no. Just so that people don't mistake this for any actual hatred. Just so that people don't mistake me for one of those people who can't differentiate between actor and character. I love Nicholas Brendon. Okay, I love him. He did a fantastic job this episode. Like this is easily one of my favorite episodes of his, simply because of how well he pulled off the whole kind of evil hyenas and kind of portrayal. So Nicholas Brendon, amazing, love him. He's a solid actor. This episode easily one of his, easily for me, one of his best so far. So I love him, love Nicholas Brendon. And even Xander. This one episode, I only temporarily hated him. I only temporarily hated his guts for the things that he did and said and how he was and everything. So, Xander in this episode, again, Nicholas Brendon just pulled him off just pitch perfectly. He delivered. He understood the assignment and he delivered. So, but Xander, I think I was actually initially curious too. I was actually really curious, like when he went up there, when he was within range, I was curious as to whether or not it would actually infect him too, or if it would actually, if he would actually be left to try and actually escort Lance out of the hyena enclosure. But then they left him until last. I think the more obvious pickings of the actual kind of bully group were actually shown almost immediately, just actually make that clear that all the bullies are actually now possessed by the hyenas. But then it was only once Xander actually turned around more ominously to look at Lance and everything that that's when his eyes glowed too, and it's like, oh god, no, he's one of them. He's a part of that pack now. He's a part of that pack of trans-possessed hyena human hybrid dickbags. So from that point on, Xander is a very different person, and I think it's also like his antagonism and his dickishness is actually progressively worse throughout the episode too. So it's not like he's evil right off the bat, because I think then that would be way too easy, and it also just wouldn't really. I think it would make even less sense than it already did for him, kind of being like a human asshole like Giles has suggested. But then it's also a progressive thing, actually showing how much how much of the Xander they know is being taken over by the hyena spirit too. Because the thing is, because initially he hasn't little to no issue actually going up to Buffy and Willow in the bronze and actually greeting them and actually hanging out with them. And then even when the rest of the pack come in, he just kind of like laughs along with them at a distance from their own kind of from their own insults towards the kids and everything. But then no, so then it's like slow and minimal to start off with. But then as the episode goes on, and also the more he hangs out with them, because then they are a pack, so they pretty much kind of gravitate around each other, and they actually just kind of gravitate towards other kind of weaker, more innocent people to prey on them too. So the more he's around them, and the more the more the more antagonism he commits with them, the more kind of hyena he becomes, and the more evil and stuff he becomes. So it's a very, very gradual and very, very kind of visibly kind of progressive kind of negatively progressive kind of process. I think that much I can also kind of appreciate, like how they show how he breaks down and actually becomes less and less like the Xander we know, and more like the hyena possessed person where we're kind of meant to expect and everything. So Nicholas Brendon did a great job. I think I've said it again. I'll say it again. I think also because it is an actual genuine compliment to him too. Like in this episode too. I think he clearly was actually written and directed to actually be this kind of person, and he didn't really hold back. He didn't hold back at all. He really kind of said, okay, you want an evil Xander? I will give you an evil Xander, and I will make you hate him. So he actually really delivered on that kind of performance. I think if they ever want to pull off an evil Xander in the future, then they definitely have no issues with Nicholas Brendon there. He is more than willing to actually pull that off, or maybe even actually swap the tables in the future to do swap the tables in the future too. Maybe even do an evil Buffy or an evil Willow. I think that would be great karma to Xander gets to be evil straight from the get go, straight from the first season. But then somewhere down the line, Willow herself actually actually ends up turning the tables on him and actually becomes evil Willow herself or something. That would be cool. But Xander. So Xander humiliating Willow. I really wanted to just pick him up and just burst him through the wall. Actually do what Mr. Incredible did to his boss in the first Incredibles movie, just throwing him through multiple walls just to try and get the point across. And I think I really hoped, that I didn't even know what I hoped. I just hoped that Buffy would actually try and teach him a lesson, or just actually knock him down a peg or two, whatever it took, So just I think I was so afraid of him too. I was so afraid of that too. Especially for one thing, like him actually taking Willow aside to talk to her, but then he's still not only within earshot of the rest of his friends and the rest of his pack, but then he's also speaking loud enough for them to hear, and they're also still fully focused on the conversation. So it's clearly not meant to be a private thing, but it's just him taking her aside to actually talk to her face to face and everything. Then he humiliates her, and God, seeing Willow upset in this episode, didn't like that one bit. She is, she is nothing if not a beacon of sunshine. She's a beacon of sunshine and wholesomeness, and she is precious and has to be protected. And she is, she's the last person in the show to deserve that kind of treatment at all. And I think intentionally so. It's meant to be more heartbreaking coming from her best friend as well. Her best friend of years and years of childhood and everything. So. And actually seeing her tearing up on the actual I don't know if you call it a balcony, but on the edge of the actual kind of platform as well with Buffy. Actually seeing her with tears in her eyes, and her just actually devastated that Xander would actually talk about her like that, or actually talk to her like that. Like it wasn't even like she walked in on him talking about her like that behind her back. It was actually like him telling her actually insulting her to her face and actually demeaning her like that. Actually. Just just vindication for Willow. I think two things come into play here. I think the fact that this only lasted one episode, and also the fact that Xander is also actually possessed by a hyena, like an evil predatory hyena too. That kind of stuff comes into play. So I think because of that, I think deep down Buffy, Willow is actually could actually be trying to focus on the fact that it's not really him and he doesn't really mean that stuff. But then actually hearing it right off the bat, and actually instinctively, her reaction then is actually actually just trying to process the fact that her best friend actually said that to her at all, or actually treated her like that at all, and then. Yeah, and then even later on too, her actually questioning whether or not it's because Buffy's there now too. Because I think all these years, it's only been her and Xander, and I think she even mentioned to Buffy earlier on in the episode that he makes her head all tingly too. So I think she's actually kind of contemplating some kind of attraction to him, or maybe some kind of actual kind of lifelong kind of attraction to him, maybe actually considering maybe it started off as platonic, but now it's actually turning into something more, or maybe actually wondering if she is into him that way, and actually hoping that, and actually wondering if he sees her that way. But then Buffy comes along, and she's the new kind of pretty, she's the pretty new girl in the school, and then Xander right off the bat, he suddenly has a thing for her, and him and Jessie are head over heels for her, and then I think then that kind of ties into Willow's insecurities of now this new, albeit she has become their friend and she has kind of sworn herself to protect them and to actually be with them and everything, but then but then in time of her own kind of insecurity and her own kind of pain and having been treated like this, she can't help but wonder maybe it's like Buffy being here, maybe now Xander really has eyes for her, so now he has less kind of issue actually kind of rejecting her or actually treating her badly to her face. Rejecting her would be one thing, but then actually treating her like that would just be just a whole new level of unnecessary kind of just meanness and stuff. So yeah. And then I think it's also I think the scene of when he was in the cage, with actually talking to Willow at that point too, and especially after he had actually tried to make the kind of fake ploy grab thing for the keys, and then he actually started to speak as Hyena Xander would. He actually talked about how trying to convince Willow that their lives were better before Buffy came along, and how how she Willow telling him that she saved their time, she's actually saved their lives more than once now. At this point in the series, she's actually saved their lives more than once now. But then Xander's argument being yeah, but before she came along, we didn't need saving because then we weren't even involved in this stuff, and we didn't have to worry about having our necks slashed open or heads ripped off or eaten alive by hyena people or anything like that. So then him making that argument and talking about Buffy and actually criticizing her and criticizing her methods and criticizing who she is as a character, it definitely it like has the same. It definitely reminds me because it has the same vibes as like a season of Supernatural. I think several seasons of Supernatural where like the same kind of dynamic happens between Sam and Dean, where like one of them is possessed, or maybe sometimes both of them are possessed, but then they're both kind of yelling obscenities and they're both yelling criticisms and different kind of degradations at each other, and like and in the end, even once they're cured, I think especially at the end of one of them, I think it's actually Sam's line to Dean, being like like let's not pretend you needed to be possessed or drunk or anything to actually say that stuff, like that stuff's been in your heart for a long time now, so you just need like an excuse or like a reason or like a force strong enough inside you to actually push that truth out. So then that kind of changes the thing between them, which happens actually I think like somewhere later down like the kind of line of that show. But then it definitely reminded me of that too, like Xander, like making me wonder if Xander really does feel this way about Buffy, or maybe if he's actually just using different kind of insecurities or like did different kind of like different logical arguments to actually try and disprove Buffy's kind of Buffy's existence too, and at least Buffy's kind of like actually trying to prove that Buffy is more harmful in their life than she is safe. Because then, sure, she protects them and she saves them from evil threats, but then, like the argument then being like, oh, but then if Buffy had never gotten involved with them, then they would never be in trouble to begin with, which isn't technically true, because then she had still come to, even if she had never gotten involved with them, she would still be going to their school, she would still be in Sunnydale, and Sunnydale is the Hellmouth, or at least like Sunnydale is / has the Hellmouth. So then like where they live, where they go to school is still the beacon for all of the supernatural activities. And even if she had never got involved with them, she would still be involved with Giles, because then Giles is still the Watcher and stuff, and they have to work together and everything. So like stuff would still happen, but then they'd probably still kind of be more innocent bystanders. I think I'm actually wondering maybe if that would again, I really don't want to talk too far ahead of myself in case I just end up predicting future episodes, or if I end up predicting future storylines. So I kind of want to talk about it, but it's like, oh god, if I talk about it now and then it actually shows up in the future, I'm just gonna feel like, oh, I actually predicted this. It's not that much of a surprise anymore. But yeah, probably just not going to mention it then. I'm just going to if it happens, then it happens, and I'll talk about it then. But I'm not going to try and avoid actually thinking too far ahead and actually predicting what other future storylines they actually might do, and just kind of wait and see what happens as they come. So it was an interesting argument, but then I think because he was possessed, I think and especially I think it definitely kind of it's disproven, but I think it's definitely disproven by the way that his character is before that. I think it's definitely just like the kind of hyena in him actually trying to turn tables in like a more antagonistic than plausible way, like actually him trying to point out any insecurities that might be there, but then also actually those insecurities being disproven by the 5 episodes we've had of Xander and Willow both cooperatively and enthusiastically actually helping Buffy save the day and actually helping fight alongside her too. So it's like it's not just been Buffy saving their lives, but then it's also been like so far it's actually been them building up a very, very believable and plausible team effort too. So that kind of cancels out the whole anything stupid Hyena Xander might want to say. So yeah, screw him. He was a dick all along, and he was just trying to rile up Willow. So yeah. And I think especially some of his more antagonistic behaviors as Xander too, especially in the room with the pig, like when it was just him versus Buffy, and him initially being pinned to the floor, and then him pinning her to the floor, and him kind of him talking more about the kind of stuff that him actually Hyena Xander, unarguably one of the worst things that those monsters did. They devoured Herbert. They ate the damn pig. I knew from the moment that pig was introduced. I was confused as to why a pig was down there. I was confused as to why they had a pig as a mascot in the first place. I think I think they could easily stick like a dinosaur, I think they could take like a dinosaur costume and actually chop the scales off and stick down to a student, and then they could easily have a student. I don't know if he actually mentioned why a student couldn't be mascot, or like whatever happened to the previous mascot or something. But I think for whatever reason he believed that a pig was best suited to be the mascot and to be fearsome and all that kind of stuff. So then that happened. But then as soon as Xander walked in and spotted Buffy holding the pig, I was like, oh god, he's a hyena now. Those are carnivores. They're gonna want to chomp down on some meat, and there's a fresh live pig in her arms, and the pig was terrified. The pig was squealing for its poor life, and it was itching to get out of Buffy's arms and to get away from the mean hyena man and everything. So the pig, I just knew that from that point onwards, I knew that pig had to be protected. It had to be protected. It had to be protected at all costs. And then even that didn't happen. So they just R.I.P. to Herbert. R.I.P. Herb. R.I.P. I need to look up how that thing goes, but R.I.P. Herbert. Was a brave warrior. Herbert was a brave warrior. I mean, luckily we didn't. We didn't really see how it went down. We just saw Herbert in its cage, and it was being surrounded by by hungry hyena people. So. Oh God, may it rest in peace. May it rest in peace up in animal heaven. Having been, dreadfully and brutally and viciously devoured and massacred by hyena possessed humans and everything. Just Herbert deserves better. I want justice for Herbert. I want them to introduce like another animal and have it be a total badass and help Buffy and the team wipe out like an entire pack of monsters in the next time. Justice for Herbert. Actually bring another animal on, another pig or like a bird, bring in like a vulture and have them claw the eyes out of like a pack of vampires or something. So yeah, justice for Herbert. Actually bring like another animal on, have it be a badass, and then roll credits, and then but no, justice for Herbert. But then you would think, oh, but like eating a pig, okay, that one makes sense because it's an animal, and then I mean, probably depending on how humorous you are, or like depending on what your style of comedy is, like you probably see it as them just eating bacon, and even at the very end, Xander actually asking like, oh, did I actually cook it and eat it as bacon first, or was it all raw and bloody and messy and stuff? I think they cleaned up nicely. They definitely cleaned it, like in that montage of them walking up the stairs and traversing the rest of the school. They definitely cleaned up nicely. I think that they made the motion of actually wiping their mouths away, but then there was no blood, no nothing. Just they definitely cleaned it up nicely, and there was no blood in the room either. I think the very like the most that Buffy actually ran into was just bones, and that was it, like the bones, and then I think there might have been some other kind of hair or something here and there, but then literally no blood to it. Like they literally cleaned up so nicely after that. They left bones for ominous kind of visual effect, but then the blood itself was actually spot clean, just actually spotless clean. So I really don't I really don't know whether to applaud them for that or something, but then it's just like an observation at the very least. So you think the pig would be as bad as it gets, right? They ate the fucking principal. They ate their fucking principal. I think the principal got pissed off because he knew that they. I mean, I think he knew that they ate them too. I mean, Giles said that the official. Well, no. I think that was actually in reference to the principal. I think the principal actually knew that. I think the principal had either knew or had some idea that the kids had actually eaten the pig. So then he actually told them to actually go to his office. I think from that point onwards too, I just had like the most terrible feelings. You're like, okay, you're about to you're about to unknowingly trap yourself in your own enclosed office space with a pack of hungry hyena people, and it's really not going to end well for you. So I didn't think they would eat him. I thought they'd like slash him and leave him to bleed out or something. I literally thought they'd like slash him open from the gut or the throat or something, and then they just leave him to bleed out, and then it would look like some kind of like vicious kind of murder or something. But then they ate him. I think for them that would be cannibalism, because they have the spirit and soul of a hyena and the strength and speed and stuff of a hyena too. But they still have the human bodies of humans. I think that would, at least like half and half, that would result in cannibalism, right? Like that would actually still count for cannibalism. So just good God, this just wow. So then I think Giles then said that they had actually managed to cover it up as like an actual attack of wild dogs. I think he mentioned wild dogs that actually gone into his office and did that and stuff. So that, I mean, it's just one hell of a thing. Like first wild dogs actually make it onto school property, and then they managed to actually sneak in to the principal's office, or at least I saw something. I don't know if wild dogs could sneak in, but I think they just managed to get into the principal's office and actually eat him, and then get away without leaving a trace. Apart from being, I mean, he even said that he said that the official word was that the official word was wild dogs. But I think even the way he said that, even like the way he phrased that, definitely kind of gave off that okay, they're definitely covering this up because they know that this is something they can't explain. So then they're giving the most logical thing. They're giving the most logical most sane kind of explanation they can give without actually running up chaos or panic or anything. So then that way it's actually like more believable when it's on the spot kind of thinking and everything. So definitely a cover up. But they ate the damn principal. Like the pig not deserving it is one thing. The pig is one thing, but then they fully ate the principal, and again, I cannot, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to overlook the whole cannibalism aspect behind that too. And I think especially with the ending too, with the ending of Giles actually kind of confronting Xander about the whole fact that I've read all the lore on this, and not one bit of it actually mentions memory loss. I think I'll get to that part that aspect on Xander's part in a minute, but then that would mean that they then must remember actually like everything they've done. So then they must remember eating the pig, and then they must remember eating their own principal too. So I think that's just like these kids are gonna need fucking therapy. At least I'm hoping that the other school bully kids get therapy too. And I'm also hoping that they get additional therapy. I'm hoping they also get additional therapy and or counseling or whatever to actually help them work through their own issues, so then that they don't take their own anger and their own self-hatred out on the other students, and then they can actually grow and learn to evolve as people. Because if there's one thing that this world really doesn't need, it's bullies. So hopefully they get the help they need, and they can actually learn to become better people and to treat people with respect and all that jazz. So seems like, I don't know, it sounds like idealistic thinking on one hand, but then on the other it's like, you know what, people can change. Everyone has the opportunity, and everyone deserves the chance to grow and to change and to evolve and adapt and to learn to be better. So everyone deserves that chance. So hopefully they take it and they can actually be better and they can actually learn to be better and everything. So yeah, but they're gonna have after everything that they remember doing, they're definitely gonna need a lot of counselling to actually have to try and process that. And I mean, if this doesn't change them, I don't know what will, because if actually being forced by a hyena spirit to eat their own principle doesn't change them, and actually doesn't make them look at themselves and actually try and change, like try and be better and actually try and self-evaluate, then I really don't know. Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't them, they were controlled, but still at the same time it's like, I feel like on the one hand it might still kind of offer up some kind of self-evaluational properties and different aspects and everything, but I don't know, so I guess it's up to them if they use it or if they don't. But I think as long as they change, as long as they actually are able to do the right thing from here on out, then yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I actually want to quickly talk about that memory loss thing. So yeah, so then I think Xander, I think that definitely hit different. Actually, initially thinking that Xander definitely actually did suffer from memory loss and he couldn't remember what he did. I thought okay, that's like a blessing for him. So then he doesn't have to remember all the stuff that he went through and all the stuff that he put them through. But then, of course, Giles comes along and says, "Oh, actually, the law doesn't actually say anything about memory loss. I'm not really sure you're being completely truthful with them there." But then he does reassure Xander that his secret is safe with him, and deep down he probably even understands why. And I think as an audience too, you kind of as a viewer too, you definitely kind of do understand why he might go down that route too. Because especially like if he does then remember everything he did, I think the least they could have done was like him actually taking them aside and actually just offering them the most sincere, most heartfelt, deepest and warmest apology possible. Actually telling them that he does remember what he did, and he kind of wants to he wants to issue he actually wants them to know how deeply sorry and how deeply apologetic he is, and also actually telling them that that was not him, and then the stuff he said was not him, and that he loves them both, and he cares. Like that kind of an apology, that kind of an apology scene, I feel like would have worked better than him feigning some sense of memory loss too. I think because I think if you think about it from that angle, I think it can easily feel like some kind of like a cop out, like actually giving Xander a free pass just because he kind of wants to protect them from having to revisit that kind of stuff. But then on the other hand, it's like, you know, like actually taking accountability and apologizing for what he did actually would be like the miles better route, and actually, you know, actually showing them that he is human. He fucked up on like an even more major level, because then he was also not literally not in control of his own mind or body, and he wasn't in control of what he wanted to do. So, you know, I feel like, you know, like on Buffy and on Buffy and Willow's end too, there would be that level of understanding. Like, okay, like, you know, we appreciate the apology, but also we do know it wasn't really you. You were possessed by an evil animal spirit and everything. So, you know, it made you do things that you wouldn't. It made him do things that, you know, like the real Xander that they know and love would never do and stuff. So I feel like that kind of ending would have been miles better than just feigning some kind of false memory thing. And I think, I don't know, maybe in the future we might get that. Maybe if he somehow fucks up even more in the future, then we might get like some kind of scene where he actually goes down the list of all the times and ways he's fucked up, and then he actually apologizes that way or something. But I don't know. I mean. Well, no, I mean, yeah, I guess they did it very, very minimally. Like, I think, him actually reassuring Willow that she was his Willow, and he would never deep down treat her that way, and he would never do that way. I think that was very brief. That was like 5-10 seconds long. So I think that was very brief. I think it still worked enough to get the message across, because then Willow still hugged him back and was glad to have her Xander back and everything. So I guess like as minimalistic as that was, you know, like the least that was the least they could do. So then they actually did do that. But then I feel like actually having something, because I think, especially given how convincing he was as this evil Xander, I feel like at the end of the episode, actually having him take just as much time to actually reassure them that things were okay and he was actually back to normal now, would have actually worked better. But I guess this is what we get. So for now, it's something we're gonna have to kind of settle for and be happy with. So it was still good. It was still good to at least get that. And then I think you know, like him still kind of asking Giles to actually keep the secret, and actually, you know, still choosing that path kind of shows. I don't know, kind of shows something on his end. So I don't know, I guess, but yeah, but I think then actually still kind of being. I think the way the possession is explored in this, I think the way this particular possession is explored too. I think Xander did also slightly consult the law on demonic possession, which is also vastly different too. Like an actual tormented soul from hell compared to like an animal, is vastly different too. So I think the way that this possession is explored too, I think, is also like somewhat more minimalistic, where it's like, you know, I think maybe telling Buffy and Willow that he didn't have any memories of what happened also kind of gave him the chance to not have to confront it directly, or to not have to confront it directly, or at least for now not have to confront and to save the confrontation for a later time. So maybe somewhere else down the line he actually does think back to this and actually does consider what happened, because then if he can in fact remember all of it, then he's never going to forget it. He's never going to forget what he did or what happened. So to be fair, he only ate the pig, but then he did still hurt his friends and everything. So the other kids are going to need a lot more resources and like a lot more kind of help with their mental health. However, that kind of decides to progress after this. I think we didn't see those other kids at all. I think upon them being freed of the spirits and then them leaving the hyena enclosure, like in that scene, we didn't see the other kids at all. So I am kind of curious. I'm kind of curious as to where they got to and if they actually did stay or leave or what happened, but I don't know, but I guess this again, I think this does actually give Xander the opportunity to actually kind of save, like, to actually kind of push this aside for now and to actually save any further acknowledgement for a later date. So I guess it's up to him. It was his body. It's his kind of trauma, and it's his kind of mind and his, you know, body and everything. So I guess it like he does reserve that choice to actually acknowledge it and confront it at a time when it's best suited for him. So yeah, I guess we'll see exactly how that does happen. So yeah, and then yeah, the zookeeper in the end. I think I thought he was actually wearing a mask and shit. I thought he was wearing like a mask or a helmet or something when he came out. wearing that face paint. I think the face paint covered his entire front face, including his beard. He actually managed to get the paint like accurately across his beard. So I think that was it seemed accurate and very, very precise and everything. So he got it all over his front face, and then I think partially over his actual head, because I think he had like a balding patch. I think he actually had it covering part of his head too. So yeah, I think when he came out, I thought he was wearing a mask or a helmet or something. So then it was just proven to be like a really solid, really glossy kind of paint job too, like a very, very fresh paint job. So there was that, and then of course Giles actually sees that the floor painting is all done and actually looks set up to be the ritual. And I think he then eventually put two and two together and actually realized that this isn't just a coincidence, that it's actually here and ready and set up. It's actually to do with the fact that the zookeeper himself is also very, very enthusiastically fluent and very, very like knowledgeable about the lore and and the tribe and the original rituals and everything. So it's because the zookeeper himself actually wanted that power. I think maybe even he actually oversaw or actually specifically requested the import of those particular hyenas, like knowing what their power was and knowing what they'd been doing and knowing what was possible with the ritual and the process and everything. So he actually wanted that kind of transpossessed hyena power all to himself. So he made it possible. He definitely made it possible. So yes, and he turned out to be the mastermind of it all along. And I think he was in the first like 10 minutes and then the last like 15 minutes. I think probably like the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes. I think that's like a very, very brief yet still very, very prominent time for the true villain of the episode to show up. So then Buffy did the smart thing and actually killed the curse along with him. So all the hyena spirit power from all the kids was transferred straight into him. And he had, I don't know then, given that the spirit power was actually divided up amongst the kids, I kind of have to, I feel like we kind of have to believe that power was then conjoined and multiplied and then implanted into him, giving him all that kind of multiplied power of like 5 or 6 individual human kind of hyena spirit kind of combinations actually then being combined into one giant ball of spirit energy and then combining into him and then actually giving him like a grown adult man as well, all that power too. So then regardless, she's just like, if she can handle him, so then she does the smart thing and actually kills the curse along with him. So then she ends up actually feeding him back into the hyenas too. So then and he's also very fresh with the hyenas. So I think I then wonder if like someone, because then I think he was also fresh meat and he was also mostly inexperienced with the power and the spirit of the hyena. So then because of that, I think he was still kind of seen as easy picking and easy bait for the hyena. But then I do wonder that maybe if like a human who had the spirit of the hyena and had actually garnered some experience and some knowledge and power of the spirit and actually managed to control it properly enough, I do wonder maybe if that human would not only be able to actually walk among the hyenas without being harmed, but then also be the alpha. Because then I was wondering if this kind of a pack would have like an alpha of some sort. Because then, granted, Xander was the missing pack member that they then converged on the library to actually try and rescue. But then even the way that he led the charge and they circled him and they smelled him to make sure that he was there and he led the charge against Willow as well. Like I think it kind of made me wonder like would this pack have an alpha? Like would they have like a leader of any kind, or because then I feel like if that's the case, then maybe with enough time, the zookeeper could have actually become the alpha lead. If it was possible, he could have easily become the alpha leader of the hyena pack as well. So he could have actually learned to not only walk among them, but then to control them and to actually guide them too. So I don't know, but I think that's just like more kind of exploration. That's kind of like more speculative and stuff. So yeah, it was cool either way. So I think he got the power he wanted, but Buffy just did the right thing and didn't really let him kind of live too long with it. So then he got a taste of his own kind of medicine of wanting to be a hyena and wanted to be with hyenas so much. So then he managed to get fed to hyenas too. So karma, it's one hungry bitch. So yeah, I believe those are all my major points crossed off. I can't really think of anything I've forgotten, and me being me, I'm in somewhat recent times I've started to get like kind of semi conscious about making these reviews too long or too kind of being too talkative, and actually like making these really long to watch. So hopefully like this as I mean I have no idea how long this review is going to be, but hopefully still enjoyable and still consumable in some way. Or in some ways and stuff, so hopefully it's still good. But I think that there's pretty much all the major things I want to talk about actually crossed off, and I can't really think of too much right now. I'm sure I'll probably kind of pick. I'm sure as per usual, I'll probably pick up some other details or notice something else when I watch it back in editing or something. So yeah. Those are all. I mean, these are all my initial thoughts upon like a first kind of fresh viewing, anyway. So. Yeah, hopefully it's still fun for you to actually take in. So yeah, that was my official reaction and review for episode number 6 of Buffy season 1. So yeah, that is it for now. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Once again, the full-length reaction will be available over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.